What's going on, farmers? Hope everybody had a happy and safe 4th of July. And if you've been following me on Instagram, you'll know that I've started painting up some of the roll cage. So today we're going to go through all that and show you what I found and what I'm going to do. Stick around. All right, let's get this show on the road. So as you can see, the cage is down because I had to get everything welded up. I got everything welded up, every seam or every joint welded up 100%. One thing that's not installed is the seat back bar. It goes from, the driver's side to passenger side of the main hoop, and then the D bars that come off the subframe connector up to the main hoop on both sides. But I had to drop it through the floor in order to weld everything 100% and make sure everything was nice and solid. Didn't necessarily make anything, made the upper stuff welding a lot easier. Bottom stuff it made it slightly easier, I guess, but it was still pretty rough going. But that's all done. So now, since it's down, now is the time to paint at least the upper portion of it, so that way we have good coverage, nothing's going to rust. And I did yesterday start the process, which was I wiped everything down, every tube down with lacquer thinner to get any ink that's on it and oils and whatnot off of it. Wiped it all down, got it clean that way. Then I used a red Scotch-Brite pad and scuffed everything up, got everything nice and clean. It wasn't down to 100% bright metal, but if the scale doesn't come off with a Scotch-Brite, it's almost like paint. So at least that's my philosophy. But after I'd scuffed everything up, I wiped it again down with lacquer thinner, make sure I got any dust, any further grime and grease off of it. And then I painted up with the VHT roll bar and chassis paint and black satin, which turned out really nice in some spots. I was really happy with it. You can see this portion here looks really good, nice and smooth, got a nice satin finish to it. But then there's other spots. Let me get my light out. I don't know, it'll come through fully, but you can see it's kind of rough and dull, duller than satin, more like flat, and that's from overspray. It's just not really easy to do inside the car, keeping overspray not from getting on it. So I decided, or I did a little research last night on the inner tubes and found that a lot of guys were using Rust-Oleum hammer tone. Well, I guess supposedly it used to be called hammer tone, now it's called Rust-Oleum hammered. And this is in black, which I think is the darkest. There's a black, there's a gray, silver, and there's other colors that I just didn't, don't make sense for a race car, like bronze and green and whatnot. But I think I am going to go with it. As you can see, I did a little test panel piece here, and it looks pretty cool. Basically, it looks like a lot of fish eyes and kind of metallic. But the fish eyes are all clear, so whatever's underneath the coat is going to be showing through that spot. So like this, just bare steel, so it kind of pops compared to the darker color of the coating. Whereas now that I have black already on here, the black will show through. And I don't know if you can tell 100%, but it looks pretty good. I like it. It gives it a little bit more, I don't know what the word is. I mean, it's textured, a little bit textured, but it gives a little more pop. And I think with a black interior in here, it'll look pretty cool. So now that I've already got most of the, most everything spray painted with that VHT, which after doing it, I noticed there were some spots that I missed or didn't get very good coverage on, but they're mostly the tight spots, where the A-pillar bends near the firewall, or back up in here between the sail panel and the bar. But with this hammer tone, or this hammer, Rust-Oleum hammer, you can brush it on, roll it on. They do have spray cans, but with a spray, you just get so much overspray, and it ends up being a mess. I had all kinds of oversprayed dust down here. Thankfully, it didn't travel real far over, which I didn't expect, but it was just a mess, and you're in a fog the whole time when you're doing it. So I got the brush on paint, the roll on paint, brush on stuff. So I'm gonna go through that. But first, since I've already got everything painted, I could probably just put it on over the top, but I'm gonna make sure I got good coverage and good adhesion. So I'm gonna go through and scuff everything up. I already started on this bar here. Scuff everything up. And then I'll also get any overspray that's on stuff off. So everything should be a smooth, nice finish. So I gotta do this process again, but I think it'll turn out kind of neat with the black underneath of it. So anyhow, I'm gonna get started on that. The basic process is gonna be, I'm gonna wipe everything down with denatured alcohol. The reason I'm using that instead of lacquer thinner is I think the lacquer thinner will remove paint. So I'm gonna wipe everything down with the denatured alcohol, get majority of loose debris off of it, and then I'm gonna go through, scuff it with the finish pad, Scotch-Brite pads, scuff everything back up, wipe it down again until I got a clean rag with denatured alcohol, and then I'm gonna start rolling and brushing. So I got a small 2-inch trim roller that I'm gonna try using. It's foam for oil-based paints, and some foam brushes for the welds and tight corners, and hopefully it works well. I did notice this stuff basically dries to the touch pretty quick, so I'm hoping that you can use a roller for a while before it starts gumming up or something. But yeah, that's the process. That's what I'm up to, and I'm gonna get on with it, and then I will show you guys the results. Alright, so I didn't bore you with all the time lapse of painting this, but went relatively quick. A lot less messy than the spray painting, but turned out pretty good. I hope you can see the effect of the Rust-Oleum hammered finish. I like it quite a bit. It definitely looks different, but it's not like something's wrong kind of different. It's like subtle different. So I like that. I think it'll look really good once I have the black interior in it. Hopefully lighting's good enough. You can see I had a stop line there because I do have to put the seat back bar in there. Got a stop line right here in the down the door bar. Stop point here. This stuff skins over quick, like 10 minutes ish. So when you're doing it, it also will, if you're using a roller, it'll get stringy kind of. Seems like you gotta put it on a little bit thick in order to get the effect. Some of the spots I had to use a sponge brush, were kind of thin and it didn't really do it, but kind of running some spots with runs because it is kind of thick, but the only bad part is you don't get to see any definition of your welds. So hopefully that doesn't come into issue for certifying the cage. But so far so good. The only thing I'm thinking that's going to be a pain in the butt now is because everything was coated with black to begin with. Any other bare surfaces, I'm going to have to spray paint black or somehow coat in a black, so that way the underneath coating shows through in those clear spots. And I have found a couple spots that I need to touch up. Missed a couple spots somehow. Missed a spot there. Not sure how I missed that one, but there's a couple other spots up front on the dash bar and the A-pillar bars that I need to touch up. So you might want to wear, when you're doing this, you might want to wear, or you should wear a respirator for VOCs, and also especially if you're in an enclosed shop. If you have good ventilation, you probably don't need it, but you are in the vehicle, so it kind of hangs in there. You might want to wear a hairnet. Hopefully you can see. I got some Rust-Oleum back there. You know, it happens. And those spots, when you do touch them, get a little rough. So I have a plan for that. But other than that, it is pretty easy. I would definitely recommend this over spray painting, because spray painting makes a mess. And the overspray part is just a pain in the butt to deal with. Can't think of anything else really, but yeah. So next step will be to once it's all dries and I get everything touched up, the spots I missed, I'll raise the roll cage up, install my kickers and weld everything in there, and then finish paint the spots that I need to. The back will be welded in, and then from there I can start on dealing with the rear subframe repair, and also the mini tub bars and all that stuff. I also have upper and lower torque boxes to replace. I bought a coilover cross member kit from Tin Soldiers. It was the best price, and it's all bare metal that you just weld and fit as you need. I've been looking at rear ends. I know where I'm going with rear end, but I need to figure out rear wheels and how I want those to fit. I should probably buy those and get those in position and take my flange to flange measurement, so that way whoever builds my rear end can build it to that spec. But yeah, that's where I'm at so far. So get out there in the garage, guys, turn your dream into a goal and crush it.